Hello, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when you're joining. Happy Hump Day. I am EcuDes17. This is 17 and some change. I'm about to give you my 2 cents. Um, Today's episode, we're gonna be talking about um overtime, and we're gonna be talking about um, marijuana and kind of some of the pros and cons. It's gonna be mostly like a Q&A format um, for the most part. I just had to, but before I get there, I want to I don't want to use this platform uh as a place to kind of promote myself, but I do want to check in with y'all um, and give you um, updates uh, in regards to like my business and stuff like that. My shoes came in. I got shoes in. Um, these are custom made. Um, I'll show you the box first. I'm really proud of these. Actually, I'll show you the shoe first because the box makes sense based off of the shoe, right? Um, so this is the shoe. This is the shoe. Okay. All right. This is the shoe. All right. Uh, I've worn it a couple times by now. I like this shoe. Um, these are called the Ecudes Prisms. Okay. Um, they got all the colors of the rainbow, all the colors of the prism, the light prism, and stuff like that. They're available before June for the June month and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And so like they're handcrafted in Italy, and the leather on this particular pair, um, or on this particular model of shoe that you would be ordering, it's vegan leather. It's vegan leather, so no animals were harmed. Um, this is shiny, and I point that out because like the pictures didn't really show it as shiny, but it's kind of is dope, yo. Like I mess with these, like these are dope. Um, they fit to your feet, like they hug your feet in a way that I've never experienced with shoes before. Like this is my second pair. Um, from this company, doing business with this company, and nah, like the way they hug your feet is something I've never really experienced. Like I have used the vegan leather on both pairs, and it's just like a natural fit, like no matter. And oh, here's the box. The box is pretty cool, eh? Yeah, the box is pretty cool. Um, comes in that box. Um, that same design is on the inside of the tongue, which is pretty fly. And so like I just want to say too, you catch it on both angles with these kicks. And what do I mean by that? I mean like if you're gay, like these rock for you because like they're the whole rainbow. Like Anyways, but yeah, like you rock with them because they're the whole rainbow. Actually, I'm not gonna put them down. I'm still talking about them. Um, so yeah, if you're gay, you got the pride flag thing, and like these work for pride 100%. If you're straight, well, I don't know, I don't know what you say if you're straight, but no, but check this out, because like when when God flooded the earth for 40 days and for 40 nights, he sent a rainbow to Moses. And that rainbow, um, it was a covenant. It was a covenant that it was a sign of a covenant that he would never flood the earth again. He said, "Yo, Noah, I really hope I didn't say Moses the first time around. I really like that would be terrible." But he said, "Yo, Noah, um, I won't flood the earth again. I'm not gonna flood that earth, and here's a rainbow to prove it. You know what I mean? So these shoes could be symbolic of that. Or and I mean like anybody can rock a rainbow. Like it's not that serious. Like you don't have to be gay to wear a rainbow. But yeah, no, they're cool shoes. I'll leave the link in the description. Um was that the only update I had business wise? I just filed for an LLC um through LegalZoom. I like LegalZoom, y'all. I think LegalZoom is good, because trademarks and businesses and stuff like that, they're very scammy. I mean, that's um it's an industry that a lot of scammers operate in, right? I didn't know that. Like there's a lot of scammers trying to um make money off of uh people trying to trademark their stuff, um, because it's a complicated process. It's complicated processes. Um, but yeah, um, legal zoom. You gotta like apps. I like apps. They had me rocking overnight recently. Um, I mean, they didn't force me or anything. I signed up for it. It was holiday pay, so I swapped it out for one of my days. And it got me to thinking, like, I don't know, like at first it got me, well, that's why I'm gonna talk about here. That's why I'm gonna talk about it here. Cause at 35, at first I was like, the day of, I had gotten a little bit of a nap, and I was like, shit, man, I'm too old for this shit. Like, I ain't even fucking with this. I ain't messing with this. Um, and then I convinced myself that it's kind of gonna be like a slumber party, because I mean, let's face it, the night shift crew typically has like the least amount of responsibility, right? It's usually a lot of times like getting that night shift, um, gigamabob is is kind of like, yeah, we just need a body bra and like kind of maybe fill out some paperworks, like, do some data entry, or like monitor something, or like this, that, or the other thing. I'm not saying there's not difficult ass overnight jobs. I also did overnight once upon a time in my life at a warehouse. It was like an hour out, like 4 overnights a week, and I would fucking go in this like this high lifting like it was a forklift, but it went up like 9 stories or some shit, and fill up these fucking I would fill up these freaking crates. What do you call them? These flat like wooden whatever the hell, suspended like 20 something feet in the air, and like just moving boxes and just like moving heavy shit like all the time, like strapped to this shit. Yeah, that wasn't fun. That wasn't fun. That was difficult. That was hard work. That was hard work. Yeah. That was some good old hard work for you right there. So like yeah, there are overnight shifts. Like there's overnight construction and shit like that. Like there's some heavy lifting happening in the overnights for sure. The overnights definitely they drive they drive the they keep things flowing for the daytime. You know, you can't have everything come to a standstill overnight. You know what I mean? And like yeah, yeah. Mm, mm, mm. So I'm just gonna I had it up, but I'm gonna pull up some of the Q&As, some of the questions that I have in regards to the night shift. Mm, it's a great job for introverts. I mean, night shifts are great for introverts for like for the most part. Um, they said if you had to design a perfect overnight job, one that didn't destroy your body or mind, what would it look like? What features would it have? I said a bed. A fucking bed. It would have a bed, but like all the mental health stuff becomes more important. When you're doing an overnight, all that mental health stuff becomes more important. Um, does that mean that means like not staying in one spot, like getting up, moving around. It means being um sufficiently hydrated. It means um having the right foods, um, you know, because that affects moods. Foods affects moods. Bada bop boop. Um, so yeah, you definitely want that. Um, and I think it would be dope if they gave 20-minute nap breaks. You take a 20-minute nap, you're feeling a lot different. Things are feeling a lot different for you. You know, 20-minute nap does a lot of things. I think I got they're like, bro, what happened to your file? I know it's mm, I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. You can just wow. This is how like how much I don't like free balling. um, do I think it should come with more pay? It does. It does, and it does for a reason. All right. All right. So here we branch off. Um, and we talk a little bit about marijuana. Okay. Um, do I don't. I know. I have familiarity with marijuana. Um, I know marijuana. I know marijuana. But that's all I'm gonna say. Um, they ask as far as like as far as personal experience with marijuana. All I'm gonna say is like I'm familiar with it. I'm familiar with it. Um, and so like they say, in my opinion, what's the number one reason most people start using marijuana in the first place? And I say the number one reason people start using marijuana in the first place. That reminded me of school when you're like when you're answering a question and you like put the question in the question to like make the answer longer. But like I think some teachers asked us to do that, if I'm not mistaken. Like, what was the main reason George Washington crossed the bridge? And you're like, well, the main reason George Washington crossed the bridge. But no, like, I think the main reason that people start using the marijuana in the first place is because other people use marijuanas. It's around them. Their friends use the marijuanas, their parents use the marijuanas, the TV people use the marijuanas, the music people use the marijuanas, everybody uses the marijuanas. And and so they use the marijuanas. And I think that's what it is. Um what do I think keeps people using it long term, even if it's not as fun or exciting anymore? Well, I mean, because I can't believe I didn't piggyback. Um, so I I'll add that here. I mean, because it says, what do I think keeps people using it long term, even if it's not fun or exciting anymore? And I said that there's definitively a physical component on top of the psychological addiction when it comes to marijuana. Um, but like I later went on to say when answering a different question that um, you know, marijuana does have medicinal properties to it. It does have pain relieving elements. It does have anxiety relieving elements. It does have um, you know, creative enhancing potential depending on who you speak to. It has, you know, anger reducing, you know, it makes you happy. It makes you happy, and it humbles you. It grounds you, and it has positive advantages. It that extend that make it more than just a drug. You know, if you're talking about um and you know, it's anywho. Is that the next one? Do you think marijuana helps or hurts creativity? I think I just touched on that. Or does it depend on the person and the situation? Um, and again, I guess the outsiders, they people who have never smoked or people who don't or who have smoked but didn't try to apply it to artistic endeavors or I mean, I guess there's a stigma that would lead you to believe that um being high on marijuana just looks like the R word. It just looks like the like just duh, just the most incompetence, like can't just drooling everywhere. Like um but like that's it's there's so much more to it, you know, like there's thousands, millions, thousands, whatever, like artists swear by it. Artists continuously swear by it universally and um it's hard to not believe them and like no I could tell you like anecdotally like yeah it's it's helped creativity when it comes to story writing when it comes to writing in general um it certainly has helped as far as I can tell. You know, said like many creators swear by it. Many creators swear by it. Um, and it's complex. Strains are different, tolerances are different, moods are different. Like, yeah, you could take the same strain in the same environment on two different days, the same dosage, and kind of get a different feel. You know, um, just because like even the high is dependent on the mood that you had going in. You know what I mean? Like the high doesn't create the mood. Like getting high doesn't create the mood. You've always heard like, oh, it just enhances like whatever mood you're in. Um, I don't know if that's like a direct, like, I don't know if that's a full accurate representation of how to think about it. Um, but uh, it certainly your thoughts are still creating the mood, not the substance. Um, do I think marijuana has become too normalized in today's culture or not normalized enough? I think the THC content's getting a little bit too high, to be honest with you. Like, I think you can have just as much fun if you bring that shit back down to like 14%, bro. Like, why are we all the way up to 32% THC? Like, what the heck is that? Like, one third of this is psychoactive. Like, get the F out of here, bro. Like, we're pumping that shit up way too much. We gotta get that shit down. But other than that, it's good. Um, what's something I wish more people understood about the difference between recreational and habitual marijuana use? Um, I I said like I would want marijuana to be viewed the same way that coffee is viewed. It's just like one's gets you a little bit of an upper, the other gets you a little bit of a downer. You know what I'm saying? It's but like no stigma, no stigma. Same thing. It's like you go to a coffee shop, you go to a joint shop. What's the difference? Who cares? Who cares, bro? Like, but now maybe like now I get it. Like they say like, oh, is it bad to be high when you drive? Like you don't want people high when you drive. And I'll tell you what, like there's a point where you don't really want to be driving. Like no, 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 no. I get it. Like people a lot of people they drive perfectly fine when they're doing the marijuanas. Um they're so used to it, bro. It's just like it's integrated into their reaction time. Like they're normal when they're on the marijuanas, right? But like even then, like when you first smoke, like the first smoke of the day, and like there and you first get blasted when you first get hit with that high, like I don't care who you are, there's times when you just get hit with like a oh shit, whoa, you know what I'm saying? And like so if you're walking out of a weed shop, for example, if you just went into a weed shop and you're and then you step out the door and you get in your car, you're gonna be whoa, and like so maybe that's dangerous. You know what I'm saying? And but I'm wondering like if you drank like a million coffees, like if you just drank like mad cups of coffees and got in your car and took off, that shit would be dangerous too, bro. You would be so fucking jerky, herky jerky with your motions. You would be crashing into everything. You'd be mad, fidgety, jittery. That's what they call it, jittery. And be like, car, ah. Yeah. So, caffeine, marijuana. Oh, there wasn't there a whole episode? Yeah. How do you think marijuana impacts emotional regulation, especially for people with anxiety or mood swings? I mean, I think it depends on how it's used. You know, take a few hits, you're gonna feel a little bit different than if you smoke all the joints in the world. I think it's decent. Like it's a decent way to like curb anxiety, like I've mentioned before. I think it's a decent way to kind of like if you're miserable to like not be miserable. Though I know and I say out loud, and I act personally on the belief. I'm just saying to you guys too. The best way to cure depression, as far as I can tell, or I was just saying, don't forget like don't forget about like goals and like achieving shit and like doing stuff. Like this is the way to like not stay depressed. It's not marijuana, it's not alcohol, it's not nothing like that. It's having a vision, having a goal, having something like that you're passionate about or things that you're working towards. Like that's what staves off depression. Um but but like and then marijuana helps. You know what I mean with the mood. Like marijuana just it'll help you. It can help you lift that mood when that mood is down. It can help you lower that anxiety when that anxiety is around. You know, it depends on how you use it. You use it a little bit here, feel a little bit good. Da 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 da. Um, if you're doing like habitual, like heavy habitual things like that, um, then it could affect your reward system, right? You could like flood your dopamine. They're doing work next door on a house. You can flood your dopamine receptors so that when there's no weed it expects weed and like then you're not getting the happiness from like small things and stuff like that like um, something like that but like no you don't want to um you definitely form a dependency like that um with like habitual chronicness, you know what I mean. mm, mm, mm. How do you differentiate between a routine user and someone who's dependent, even if their behavior looks the same on the outside? I mean, then you don't. If the behavior looks the same, it's how different would their day, week, or month look without the stuff? I mean, if their behavior is going to look the same, then there's no effing effect. You know what I mean? If you quit it, if you're not smoking, but you're doing the same shit that you would be doing if you were smoking, maybe with a little bit more resentment, maybe with a little bit more clarity. But if you're doing the same shit, then like you're not really. Then who cares? Then I don't know. Then we're just talking physical. Like I don't know. Do you think marijuana is overprescribed or misused in the medical setting, or do you think it's still underutilized in some ways? Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know that whether I don't think big pharma is profiting off of medical marijuana at this point in time. I could be wrong, but I don't think they are, and if they're not, um, then I don't know the implications, but that's the first thing I think about when it comes to that. When people say weed is natural, so it must be safe, what's your response to that? Uh, Dick is natural. Um, okay. Yeah, but like, yeah, weed's natural. Smoking's not. You know what I'm saying? Um, Weed's natural. I don't know how natural, like, no, ingesting plants is natural. Smoking, I don't think is, but yeah, no, like that's a fair point. Like if it's like you call it like a natural herb or whatever. Do you think long-term marijuana use affects memory or motivation, even if people don't notice right away? Probably, yeah, it probably does. Yeah, most likely. Um, what's a red flag that someone's marijuana use might be becoming a problem, even if they don't realize it yet? I said when their face starts drooping. Ha. Um. No, but really, I think when it becomes their number one priority in life. Um. Oh, okay. This is the one where I was saying good stuff about it for. Do you think quitting marijuana, and this is the last question here. Um, it was saying, do you think quitting marijuana is harder, easier, or just wait, or okay, do you think quitting marijuana is harder, easier, or just different compared to quitting alcohol or nicotine? Um, you know, the consensus is that it's easier. But to me, it's harder than both. And I can actually speak from experience on this as well. I was a binge drinker, and I stopped drinking, and a couple years back. And also, I smoked cigarettes for like 15, 14 years or so, about, and I quit those as well. And and marijuana is more difficult to quit, and maybe I think maybe it's because of those benefits that that do exist within it. If it was just trash, like weed is pretty much just trash. Like alcohol, you get that nice buzz, but like golly, that shit's trash. Like damn, that is fucking gasoline. Might as well just drink fucking gasoline and just like burn your everything, dog. Just burn your intestines, burn your stomach, burn your brain, like just drown your brain. Like, alcohol is disgusting. Um, but like weed is kind of, like I said earlier, it's medicinal in a way. So when trying to quitting something that's actually curbing your anxiety, making you happy, making you feel creative and at peace. And like I said earlier, grounded and humble. It's a little bit different, right? You're getting a lot of benefits back. You're like, ooh, you're chilling. You know what I mean? You're chilling. You're nice. You're good. And so stopping that, that's a little bit. That's a little bit more rough. And so yeah, I mean that does that, and is it one? Yeah, I'm glad I could come through and do some Q&As with y'all and talk to y'all and just like say words and put them out into the universe and stuff like that. And cause like at the end of the day, that's really what this is like I'm just sharing with humanity. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not on here trying to be like, oh, I'm Einstein. I'm I'm the next, you know, all that and cheese and shit. Like, and I'm the super philosopher. Like I've done this, that, and the other thing. I know this, I know that, and it's like, nah. I'm literally like I'm here to just like share the things that I have learned and like the I've had plenty of of emotional uh uh, uh like I've seen enough. Like I've been through, I've done, and I've seen and learned enough that I feel like the words that I can conjure up would have some value to somebody. And so like that's why I'm here saying words out into the universe. Like I'm not even like yeah, I have a business, but like it's I don't that's no I'm not here as a promoter of it. Um yeah, anyways, that kind of um but yeah, yo, I'm just here I'm just here even I mean, even within my business, like even my whole business model, it's philosophy and stuff like that. But like literally, I'm just here uh, uh, uh to share, to share, to share things I think, to share things that I like, and yeah, and that's the energy. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know how I got there, how I got out on that tangent or whatever, but like I do thank you guys for joining me again today. Oh yeah, because I was trying to wrap up the episode and stuff like that. And but yeah, I'll be back next Wednesday. Um, next hump day, and we go over some more stuff. All right. Goodbye.